Today I woke up with a really strong urge to roast Adobe, not just because they deserve it, but all their mishaps and stupidity kind of excites me about the future of creative software. So let's talk about it. When I'm not programming or making videos, one of my other hobbies is to do stock analysis and try to find fun, like value investments. And one of the stocks I was looking at was Adobe, and I was actually blown away by the chart that they had for their financials. If we look here at this chart here on my right, as you can see, their revenue has been skyrocketing since even earlier than 2021 that it displays here in the last decade or so. And if you look into stocks, generally it's really hard to find stocks that have this nice of a growth with this type of chart that just keeps going up and up and up and up every year, every quarter. As you can see, in 2021 they did 16 billion in revenue, 2022 18, 2023 19, and 2024 22 billion dollars. Now why is that happening? Because if you actually look at the stock, in the last 5 years, it's down a whopping 24.7%. That's absolutely abysmal. That's terrible considering the bull run this market has been going since 2022. If you look at the S&P 500, if you invested in that, in this ETF, that is up almost 100% in the last 5 years. So you would have doubled your money. So why is this happening? Where is this revenue growth coming from? But why is the stock suffering so badly? Well, in 2013, Adobe decided to kind of switch up their pricing model over from a single purchase to a subscription-based model. Now, generally, I don't think that's a bad thing. SaaS can be done right. Generally, you can reinvest that money into the product to make the experience better, offer more kind of software upgrades, and also provide better customer service. If done right, I should add, because Adobe has not been doing any of that correctly. First of all, let's talk about their software. Their software at this point feels like early 2000s software. That's the best way I can describe it. And they entirely also missed out on the AI boom. Out of all of these products, the only like notable interesting thing that's actually useful I can think of for Photoshop, for example, is their subject select that automatically crops out, the subject or the background or whatever. That's the only really good thing, but there's so many other services that do that these days as well. Premiere Pro had some like interesting transcription features, but nothing really that's super innovating that makes you I want to subscribe to Adobe products because their AI stuff is just that crazy. And again, it just feels like early 2000s software. Like the UI just looks outdated at this point. And since they added so many new features in these different softwares, the user experience is terrible. There's so many different tools that are hidden. All the shortcuts are different across different applications with no rhyme or no reason. And the subscription plans just make no sense whatsoever. First of all, okay, you look at the photography plan and that looks pretty good. Okay, well, you got Photoshop and Lightroom for 19. However, if you want to do anything else, you want to do some video editing, for example, this is 21. Why? Why is that 21? Well, maybe I need this and then maybe I need Illustrator. So it makes no sense to individually buy these applications. So you're going to resort to something like the Creative Cloud. Now, this looks like it's 32 pounds and you're like, well, that's not bad at all. However, if you need to read carefully because it says for the first 3 months and then it's actually the full price for the last 9 months. And God forbid you subscribe for the annual plan because you're going to have to bloody zoom in 300,000% to read the fine print, because if you want to cancel the bloody thing, you're going to be presented with this lovely screen here that says canceling your plan today means that you actually have to pay 50% of the annual subscription. Not only you lose access to all your assets and everything you've done the moment you cancel it, also give us half the money just because we're Adobe. And God forbid you say anything negative about Adobe, because when you do, you are going to be presented with one of these emails. So I made my last video on Adobe around 2022 in September, and it was called Why I Don't Use Adobe Creative Cloud Anymore. And the whole video wasn't even about roasting Adobe like this episode. It was more about presenting different alternatives that are quite good software that you can use instead. So one of them that I talked about was Affinity. This is a smaller UK company that offers kind of three alternatives. That is Affinity Photo for kind of their, this would be like the Photoshop alternative. They have one called Designer, which is kind of like Illustrator, and Publisher. Now, they have been great. They are not as featureful as Photoshop by a mile. Um, However, they've been great for what I needed it for. And I also talked about DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing tool. And my internet is not loading up now. But anyway, that's all that video was. And this is what happened. They copyright striked my video. And I tried to fight this tooth and nail with Google. But guess what? Guess whose side they took? Not mine, I can tell you that. If you want to talk about a SaaS product that does things right and actually teaches you how to become smarter, that's today's sponsor, Brilliant. If you really want to take your problem-solving skills to the next level, well, Brilliant is the place to start. It's not about watching endless lectures, it's about doing. Every lesson is interactive and lets you actively explore concepts, which makes learning stick so much better. Just like how we've been doing the lead code problems these past 2 months or so on this channel, the goal there wasn't really to memorize the answers, right? It's to build a deeper intuition and to recognize patterns that these algorithms have and break problems down into simple steps. And that's exactly what Brilliant also helps you master. And their lessons are visual, hands-on, and super engaging. You can dive into their courses like Programming with Python, How AI Works, and they also have a really cool new one called Programming with Functions. It's just a really fun way to keep learning every day without burning out. And all of the lessons and challenges are handpicked by experts from places like Stanford and Microsoft and Google, so you know the quality is there. So if you want to become a sharper thinker and level up your problem-solving skills, head over to brilliant.org/developbyed or scan the QR code here on the screen, and you will also get 20% off your annual premium subscription. Thank you so much, Brilliant, for sponsoring this episode. So what's going on here? How come their revenue is pretty much at an all-time high, yet their stock is at an all-time 5-year low? Well, here's what I think is happening. For one, there's a new little kid on the block that just IPO'd this year called Figma. You might have heard of it. This is a tool that you can use to create your UI designs. Not only that, you can also collaborate with other people, and better yet, you can also do it directly in the browser without installing a new application. So Adobe got scared of this, and they tried to make a competing product called Adobe XD. You might have heard of that as well, but that's all dead to this point. And that's kind of the trend with Adobe. When a new product comes out that is kind of scary to them, they try to simply buy it out. They don't try to make their product better. They buy it out and then they kill it. And we've seen that with Illustrator as well. There was another product that was really good. I can't think of the name right now, but that's what they did. They bought it and then they just let it die out. So what Adobe tried to do was they tried to purchase Figma. They offered them $20 billion for that acquisition, and it didn't go through. It didn't go as they planned because there's been regulation in the EU and the UK that it was anti-competitive, and it was not going to be good for the kind of software ecosystem. So it didn't go through. Now, the funny thing about this is that they had kind of an agreement that if the deal does not go through, Adobe would have to pay Figma $1 billion in kind of like a cancellation fee, which is funny because, because of this. So I guess karma comes right back around to bite you in the ass. Since this acquisition completely flopped, this just gave Figma a bunch of cash, $1 billion in their hand to kind of go against Adobe. And you could really tell that they started pushing out a bunch of features. They recently announced prompt, design, build. They have this draw as well, which is kind of like an alternative to Illustrator, but works in the browser, is much quicker, and the experience just seems way, way better from what I've been reading other designers that have been using this. And if you look online, whether that's on Reddit or on X, the consumer sentiment around using Adobe products couldn't be any worse. And I can't help but be excited about that as a software developer, and that maybe one day wants to create one of these products, or maybe not necessarily like a full-on Photoshop, but maybe something in the creative software field. And I do feel like in the future, we are going to see kind of what Figma's doing, where all of these tools eventually are going to end up kind of being ported over to the browser, and the browser being kind of the top ecosystem for these products, with the popularity of JavaScript as well, and browsers gaining more and more functionality. Currently, there's still limits like browsers have a 4 GB limit, memory limit allocation to them. Also, like web workers still have some weird limitations. But sooner or later, with WebGPU also getting better, we're going to be able to create all of these complex softwares directly in the browser. And at this point, I just don't see Adobe innovating at all in these last couple of years. Even their port of Photoshop over to the web has been quite abysmal. So as a software developer, I think you should be really, really excited. But that's it. I just wanted to yap a little bit about Adobe. If you want to give this video a like, did you see it light up? Look at the like button. Like. See? I can light up the subscribe one as well. Subscribe. Okay, I'll catch you in the next one.